hair with a flat iron is a beauty no-brainer, right? Just wrap a section of hair around it, wait a few seconds, and then watch the magic happen as beautiful spirals appear. But unfortunately, life is not always a Disney movie, and the fairy tale of having red carpet-worthy curls and waves ends before happily ever after.
Why?
That's because you may be doing something wrong that might make you want to toss your iron out the door. In this video, we're tackling the most common hair curling blunders, breaking down the difference between using a flat iron over a curling iron, and unveiling the must-know product tips to make your curls last longer than your latest Netflix binge. Let's go. Before we get started, if you are somebody who is just looking for the tutorial aspects of this video, it is time-stamped below for those who like to get right to the point. However, I really do urge you to watch before that if you struggle with creating flat iron curls, or you find that your curls often fall flat, as we're going to be going over 5 mistakes that prevent you from getting the perfect curl. Mistake 1, wrong expectations. The first reason you might not be head over heels for your flat iron curls is that you are expecting them to look exactly like those from a curling iron. While curling iron curls give you that classic polished look, flat iron curls bring out more of that textured, beachy feel, like you just stepped off of a photo shoot in Malibu. Expecting them to turn out the same is like expecting your high heels to feel like comfy sneakers. Both are great, but they give completely different looks and feels. The difference between both tools is pretty straightforward. One is round and the other is flat, duh. I'm just kidding, there's a little bit more to it than that. A curling iron, it's like your trusty go-to partner, the Robin to your Batman. With its round barrel, it is all about that traditional curl. It's designed to wrap your hair around it like a warm, snuggly teddy bear hug. Those perfect bouncy curls are created to give you that classic look that's always in style. But a flat iron has flat, sleek plates that glide on top of your hair. So when you curl your hair with a flat iron, it gives you more of these unique textured waves or even tighter curls depending on the look you're going for. Think of it as a crafty chef whipping up a unique dish. You are not just curling, you're twisting, turning, and gliding it through your hair. You're adding a bit of flair and fun to your hair routine, like turning a classic recipe into a gourmet dish with a few creative tweaks. Now, the best part about a flat iron is that you can get multiple looks from it, far beyond just your standard curls. It is a very versatile tool that can do all sorts of looks, so be sure to let me know in the comments if you would like to see another video on the different ways you can use a flat iron to create multiple looks. Unlocking its full potential starts with having the right expectations when it comes to choosing a flat iron over a curling iron. So now that you understand that, let's move into the mistakes you need to avoid to get your flat iron curls to last. Mistake 2, prepping your hair the same. Hair prep is your secret weapon, but the rules for prepping your hair for a flat iron are a little different for those from a curling iron. Common prep for each tool is using the right shampoo and conditioner when washing your hair. Think of them as your hair's foundation. Get it right, and everything else falls into place. You want products that are just right for your own hair type. So nothing too heavy that will weigh your hair down, and nothing too light that's gonna leave it wild and frizzy. Find hair types that you find your hair falls flat. You will need to prep your hair with a volume shampoo and conditioner. This is because these are formulated specifically to help plump up the hair and create more texture, meaning that they're not gonna leave your hair feeling heavy and weighed down. Medium to coarse hair types, if you find your curls put up a fight to stay intact, I want you to avoid using anything too heavy when in the shower. L'Oreal Pro Longer is my #1 recommendation to use in the shower if you fall into this category for coarse hair. This is gonna hydrate your hair, leaving it soft, helping to tame your hair, but not nearly weigh it down as much as a typical smoothing shampoo will. The biggest difference between curling and flat irons when it comes to prepping your hair is that when using a flat iron, you want to avoid using texture sprays before you start styling. Imagine trying to skate on a gravel road. It's not fun. The texture of the gravel makes it a challenge to glide along it on skates, and this is what your flat iron experiences with texture sprays. Flat iron curls are all about keeping that iron moving smoothly. You rarely hold it into place for a long time like you do a curling iron, so you need a smoother surface to create your curls. With a curling iron, we usually need some texture prior to your iron work to help those curls hold, because less of your hair is being hit with heat. Most of your hair, only one side of it is exposed directly on the iron. And I want you to remember that heat is what allows us to create the shape, curl, or look we have in mind with our hair. With a flat iron, each section of hair is being evenly hit top and bottom of the section with heat. Because of this, your curl is going to form a bit faster than with a traditional curling iron because of the heat distribution. So where we prep with a texture spray prior to curling with a curling iron, we're going to wait to use a texture spray till after your curl has been formed from your flat iron to lock in that curl. And in just a bit, I'm gonna show you exactly how to use your flat iron for curling your hair, but we have 3 more mistakes we need to address first in order to make sure your curls are coming out right and lasting for days. Mistake 3, too fast, too slow. The speed at which you swoosh your flat iron through your hair is the secret sauce to your curl success. If you glide the iron through your strands in a slow, smooth sway, you're gonna end up with a little bit tighter of a curl. If you speed it up, you're gonna get a looser, more beachy wave. Mistake 4, high heat. Your flat iron's plates are like a heated sandwich press for your hair, toasting it evenly from top to bottom. But with great heat comes great responsibility. While you might think higher heat creates a better curl, it actually just creates more damage, as well as increasing the possibility of denting your hair from the iron. With traditional curling irons, because of that rounded shape, the dents that can form are far less likely to happen. Because traditional flat irons have a rectangular shape, they are more likely to create dents in the hair from the straight edges that they have when the heat is set too high. There are rounded flat irons that lower the possibility of this, but because most irons are this traditional shape, it has to be mentioned. Fine hair types, I recommend keeping your flat iron set no higher than 350 degrees Fahrenheit. You could even go a little bit lower than this, I find, with the flat iron. Medium to coarse hair types, no higher than 375 to 380. And while we skip using a texture spray prior to using your flat iron, you will never, ever, ever want to skip using your heat protectant. You will always apply your heat protectant top and bottom of your section before you use your iron, and I will link my favorites in the description below. Mistake 5, too big of sections. While a flat iron does a great job of evenly distributing heat, you still need to keep your hair sections the right size to get those perfect curls or waves going. Think of it like baking cookies. If some cookies are too big and some are too small, they aren't going to bake the same. Some are going to be burnt and some will be undercooked. If your sections are too big, some of your hair might escape the heat party, leaving you with a mismatched look or curls not forming at all. Instead, you want to go for a more narrow section rather than wide, thick ones. This way, every strand gets its turn in that heat, and you'll end up with a more beautifully even curl or wave. Now that you're aware of the common mistakes and know how to avoid them, we are now going to show you how to create your flat iron curls. Using a flat iron creates a very fun look that's a little different from a curling iron, but it can feel challenging at first. So remember to just be patient and give yourself grace. So for step 1, you want to divide your hair into either multiple sections, or you can use just a single butterfly clip to keep the hair you're not curling neatly tucked away. Once you've sectioned it off, be sure to give your working section a light coating of heat protectant before hitting it with that flat iron. You're gonna coat both top and bottom of the hair to ensure you have even coverage This way your hair stays safe and sound while you work your curling magic. So you're gonna grab your narrow section of hair and start by placing your flat iron at the very top of your section. You're gonna roll your hair through the iron while twisting it with your hands. When you get to the middle to lower section of the hair, you're gonna sort of pull out and twist at the same time. This little trick helps to maintain a uniform look, since flat iron curls sometimes have a smoother and flatter look on top, so the top and bottom both match. You are not going to touch your curl once it has been let out from your iron, so it can cool down into place. This allows your curls to have more longevity throughout the rest of your week. Now we are gonna move on to the next section and repeat. Remember, the speed of your iron is key. Faster movements create looser curls, while slower movements give you a little bit tighter of a curl. You also don't want to squeeze the iron like you're trying to squeeze a lemon. Light pressure is all you need to keep it closed and to glide smoothly through your hair. Holding it too tight is going to make it much more difficult to create that bend that you need for your curls. You can even practice this movement with the iron off to get the hang of it. So this allows you to get used to the motion of using a flat iron this way while not overexposing your hair to excess heat. Also, you can choose to change the direction you twist the iron. This creates more movement in the hair, creating a more full and textured fun look. Once you've curled an entire section, to lock your curl into place, you will first want to lightly spray with your texture spray. This is gonna help lock in and enhance the texture in our curl, and then you will use a light hold workable hairspray to set your curl. My current favorites are Sexy Hair's High Tide Texture Spray and Living Proof's Flex Spray, specifically for when I am creating flat iron curls. These are both very lightweight and they give great hold and texture without being too stiff in the hair, and they work really good on all hair types. And the benefit of using these lightweight products like this, it comes in handy later in your week, which we'll touch on in just a moment. Now you will simply continue these same 4 steps throughout each section of your hair. So section your hair off, spray your heat protectant, place your iron in at the top of your hair, twist and glide your way down, and set everything into place with your texture and hairspray after curling each section. Make sure to keep your sections narrow over wide and thick, and remember, you can practice these movements with that iron turned off to get used to using a flat iron over a curling iron. It's like playing a video game. Repeat these steps, level up your curls, and you will be winning the hair game in no time. After you've curled every section and given them time to cool down, you will want to gently work your hands through your hair to smooth out your curls, and this is where the real fun now begins. You can choose to pump up the volume and add a little more texture by grabbing your texture spray to give your hair that extra oomph of fun. I like gently holding my hair out and spraying High Tide into my hair to create extra volume and grit, and it can also be sprayed closer to your root area to give you a little bit more height here as well. After I've done that, I will move my hair around as needed, and I finish off with one final coating of hairspray. This is gonna leave you with a fun, textured look with a little more edge than a classic curling iron, and it is great always to keep a nice change with your hairstyle. So now that you have the steps down to create this fun look, you might be concerned about getting it to last you till day 2, 3, maybe even 4, depending on your hair type. When showering, you want to make sure you always place a shower cap on prior to getting in the shower, and you're gonna wait to remove it until all the heat and steam from the shower has left the bathroom. This is going to prevent the moisture from the steam and heat flattening out your curl. When sleeping, you'll want to wear your hair in a loose pony at the top of your head, and I prefer to use a silk scrunchie to avoid any denting. Wearing your hair up like this helps to keep things in place while you're tossing and turning throughout the night. Finally, don't feel heartbroken or that you did something wrong if you have to touch up a few of your curls. So you mean this is normal? Usually on my day 3, I find that some pieces need just a little extra TLC, but the beauty of this is that recurling curling, as little as 3 to 5 curls makes a huge difference, and it hardly takes any time. You do not have to re-curl your entire hair. It kicks back up the texture like the cherry on top of a perfect dessert. This is also where using those lightweight products like High Tide and the Flex Spray come in handy. You can touch up and add more texture and hold to your hair without it feeling stiff and heavy. With these simple steps, your curls will stay bouncy, your waves will stay wavy, and you will be ready to slay with your gorgeous hair. If you enjoyed these tips and tricks and you want to see more ways to rock multiple looks with your flat iron, don't forget to let me know in the comments. I am all ears and curls. Now that you've mastered the flat iron curls, you might find you need to up your game when it comes to your curling iron curls. Check out this video right here to find out what's keeping you from long-lasting curling iron curls. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, that you learned something. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!